within that you will be specifying the properties of the style for that particular tag. Then external means you're going to create a separate .css file, and that you're going to link to the HTML file within the style tag using link tag. Okay, so I've given examples, enough examples. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can ask, or you can just go to the textbook. Very simple representation. See, you should able to write the theory part. I know everybody knows at least 50% of the. So select. Okay, it's not just always use P. Okay, open curly brace. It's not necessarily. We have different types of representing the selectors. So when defining CSS rules, you will need first to use the selector. Okay, when you want to start creating the CSS file, first you are going to choose a selector to tell browser which element will be affected. Okay, so to which element you are going to apply the style. So that is indicated by the selector. So CSS selector allows you to select individual elements. You can work with the individual elements, or you can apply the CSS for multiple HTML elements that belong together in some way. Okay, so for all these categories, or another case is elements that are positioned in specific ways in the document hierarchy. Okay, so this based on this position, okay, you are going to apply the selectors. Either you are going to apply the elements, individual elements, or you can group a set of HTML elements and apply the selector. Okay, like that they have categorized into different types. So we'll discuss those types one by one. Many times they ask for 8 to 10 marks. So listen carefully. So you should able to explain each type with an example. Okay. So your example main focus for the syntax, how you are going to represent the selector for each of these types. The first one here I have specified there are 6 selector types. One is element selector, class selector, ID selector, attribute selector. Then fifth one is pseudo element selector, pseudo class selector, and the sixth one is contextual selector. Okay, so we'll discuss all these types of selectors one by one. The first one, I think, is it? So element selector, the name itself tells you're going to apply for an element. You're going to apply an CSS for particular HTML element. So you can select all elements using 2 types. Okay, one is either you can apply for a single HTML element. Okay, for an instance of HTML element. Example, if you want to apply for paragraph, you can just specify. In the previous class we have discussed, this is a normal method we are going to discuss, discussed selecting particular HTML tag and specify its style. Okay, so that is called element selector. So sometimes if it requires to specify for all the HTML elements a single style, okay, same style if you want to apply, so in that case you can specify the asterisk symbol. Okay, one is in the element selector, the normal simple method is you need to specify the HTML element name. So another case is you need to specify the, if you want to specify the same style for all the whole content of the document, then you are going to use the universal element selector. So how to represent this universal element selector is you need to just use the asterisk symbol. Okay, instead of your paragraph or emphasize em tag, so you need to just use the, so in place of selector name you need to just use the asterisk symbol. Okay, whenever if you have used asterisk symbol, what happens is this property value or whatever the style you have specified, it is going to applicable for the complete document. Okay, it is going to applicable for the complete document. Okay, this is for selecting all the elements of the documents. Okay, whenever if you want to maintain the same appearance for complete document, you can use universal selector by specifying asterisk symbol in place of the selector. Okay, so you can select a group of elements by separating different element name with commas. Okay, so that is called as group selector. Okay, in element selector they have classified into three types. One is a single element selector, another one is universal element selector, and the third one is group selector. If you want to apply this property or this style for multiple tags, okay, for multiple HTML elements, so in that case you just specify the selector names. Okay, you can just specify the selector names with a comma separator. Okay, I'll just show you. I will show the programs. I will execute small programs and I will show it later. So how to specify group selector? So group selector you need to specify like this P. Then if you want to apply for H1, comma, then followed by you need to specify the style. So this is called group selector. Is it clear? So element selector you need to specify in three ways. Particular HTML element, you're going to use this basic one, or if you want to apply for all the HTML elements, so then you will go for the universal element selector, or if you are going to make group of elements to be that particular style to be followed, so in that case you can go for the group element selector. Okay, so within the element selector you are going to use all these three different types. The only thing is in group elements you are going to specify all the HTML tags, okay, which are the HTML elements you want to apply that particular style with comma separator. Okay, what is the advantage going for only a single HTML element? What is the advantage of going for universal or group of elements? So always will prefer for group element selector. So because that is sensible way to reduce the size and complexity of your CSS file. Okay, instead of writing code, if it is the same appearance or the style, if you want element selector, the CSS code is written. For paragraph, I have specified margin and padding. For division, then aside. Okay, these are all the HTML elements. For this, I have given particular style. So now you can just see all these tags, it is following the same style. Okay, so why to write repeatedly? So instead of this, what you can do is, if all the tags are following the same style, you can just represent using group selector. Okay, so where the element name should be separated with a comma, paragraph, division, aside tag, then followed by specify the property value pair. Okay, so by doing this, what happens is you can just see the number of lines it is reduced. So it is going to reduce the complexity in your CSS file by combining identical rules into a single rule. Okay, you can just observe these are all identical rules. I am just combining all these rules into a single rule where I am specifying all the elements, okay, the HTML elements with comma separation. So this is called group selector. Next we'll move on to class selector. So the name itself tells class selector, where you're going to specify the class name for each of the HTML element. So class selector allows you to simultaneously target different HTML elements regardless of their position in the document tree. Okay, regardless of their position in the document tree. Okay, understand the statement. Okay, it is going to apply the CSS or the style to the selectors or the elements regardless of their position in the document tree. Wherever it is in the document tree, you can just see the position. So the different position of the HTML element, wherever you specify, so using class selector, it is going to apply the whatever the style you have specified. Okay, so that is called class selector. So there is nothing difficult to represent this class selector. Okay, so class selector you need to specify using a period or dot followed by the class name. Okay, in the selector tag you are going to give the class name. So that class name you need to specify here. So go to the example and observe here. I am giving the attribute. Okay, so h1 for all the any HTML tags you take, for every HTML element, you will be having the set of attributes. Either it can be a ID attribute or class attribute. Okay, so here I am using ID part, I will explain later. So here I am going to use the class attribute. So here for this H1, I am specifying the class attribute value. Okay, class is attribute. For that value, I am specifying is first. Okay, and followed by what is the heading you want to give. So that is specified. Similarly, if I want to apply style for the paragraph, here I am going to specify the attribute of class for the paragraph once again first. Similarly, you can just observe style. In that case, I want to specify the class name for each of the tag. Okay, whichever the tag I am giving the name. Okay, for those tags it is going to apply the style. Okay, you can just observe dot first. So this is a representation of class selector. Okay, you can just observe here. This is all normal. So in the head section you are writing the style tag. Within that you are specifying the style. So here whenever if you are using class selector, it should start with the selector name should start with the dot and selector name. So here what is the class name? I am not using the HTML element name. I am using the class name that is assigned to the tag. That is assigned to the tag, followed by as usual property value pair. So here I am specifying font style is italic and color is brown. Okay, so wherever I've used this particular class name for the HTML element, so there it is going to apply this style. Okay, you can ask a question. I have given everywhere the class name is same first. Okay, it is possible. You can use the same class name for all the different HTML tags. Okay, you can use the same tag name, or if you are interested to give different style for paragraph, you can just change this to some other name. Okay, so you can just give something ABC here. Okay, then you need to create style for that particular class name dot ABC followed by the property value. So here I am just grouping all these style. Okay, don't think that it is a group selector. It is like group selector, but the representation is using class selector, where I am assigning the class name for each of the tag. For whichever the tag that's assigned with this class name, it is going to apply this style. Okay, is it clear? It can be applied for any number of tags. Same class name can be assigned to any number of tags. Wherever you want to apply the styles, you can just if you want to, then you have to give the different class name here and followed by the corresponding style you need to specify. Okay, is it clear? So in this case, if a series of HTML elements have been labeled with same class attribute value, then you can target for styling using class selector. Okay, when you are just grouping set of selectors, if you want to apply for same style, so in that case you can go for the class selector. And this is the syntax you need to follow, dot followed by class name, or what is the value or name it is given in the class attribute. Is it clear? So this is called class selector. So program I will okay. So wherever paragraph for heading I have given italic, you can just observe the heading is represented in italic and also color is brown. Similarly for paragraph is also applied. Paragraph, you can just observe the font is italic. See here paragraph is there. You can just observe here paragraph is there. I have not assigned the class attribute here. So it is not going to apply this style. Wherever you have specified the class attribute for that particular HTML element, it is going to apply this style. The code is very important. The syntax is very important. So if you write this much, that's more than enough. Somewhat similar to the class selector with some limitation. Okay. An ID selector allows you to target a specific element by its ID attribute regardless of its type or position. Okay, wherever the tag in the HTML document in the hierarchy, so you can just assign ID attribute. Okay, using that ID you will be able to apply the CSS. Okay, so here how to represent this using, instead of in class selector we have used dot. So here we are going to use the hash symbol, hash followed by the ID name. Okay, so that is the main difference in terms of syntax. Remember is, so you should only be using ID once per page. That means multiple tags. So that is the limitation or the difference between class selector and ID selector. Okay, so that is the main difference you need to remember. So the notation is almost same. Only thing is, instead of dot, you are going to use the hash name code. So here it is represented in the form of ID selector. You can see is different. So first let me go to the elements. Okay, so here I am applying for division tag or division element. I am assigning the ID. Okay, ID, that is an attribute, is equal to some name. Okay, I'm just giving some name followed by whatever the paragraph I want to write. So that will be specified. So now this ID name I cannot repeat for other elements. Okay, so unlike in case of a class selector, I cannot repeat for others elements with the same ID. Okay, I can create for paragraph also ID is equal to something and apply the style. So wherever this ID matches for that particular tag, it is going to apply this style. So how the style part is written? So it should start with the hash followed by ID name, that is latest comment, then followed by property value. Font style italic and color is brown. Okay, so the syntax is only this is the difference. Hash you are going to use for ID, and if it is a class selector, you are going to use the dot followed by the attribute name. Okay, that is class attribute name. Then how it is different? So ID selector should be used when specifying single HTML element. So that you need to remember, only for one HTML element. You cannot repeat this value for the other HTML element. You just observe the same name, it is applied for the different HTML elements. Okay, you're just grouping using this class attribute, but that is not possible in case of ID selector. Okay, so that is the main difference. And also sometimes what happens is the browser is going to give excuse even if you are using the same ID selector name for other tags, still sometimes you will get the output. Okay, okay, so you just remember this is assigned only for a single HTML element. The difference between ID selector and class selector. So based on the requirement, either if you want to apply same style for group of elements, then you will go for class selector. If it is for an individual element, then you will be going for the ID selector. Okay, so just to know this difference between these two selectors. Next, attribute selector. So what is attribute selector? An attribute selector provides a way to select HTML element by either presence of an element attribute or by value of the attribute. Okay, so here you are going to define a attributes. Already all the HTML tags will be having their own attributes. So now you can use that attribute name to define the style. Okay, you can just use that attribute name to define the style. So that is called as attribute selector. So this can be very powerful technique, but because of uneven support by some of the browsers, not well. So even though it is a very effective technique, some of the browsers it is not going to support the attribute selector. Okay, so due to that, not all, some of the web browsers it is not supporting. Because of that, so many of the web authors they are not using the attribute selectors. Okay, so attribute selectors can be very powerful technique in the styling of hyperlinks and images. So mainly whenever if you want to do some styles with the hyperlinks, changing color when you move the mouse onto the hyperlink or when you click on the hyperlink. Okay, in such cases, so you can just use attribute selector and you can apply the CSS. Okay, how to represent attribute selector? One example for that. Okay, just to focus on, you can just observe. This is a HTML document. So here See, this is a notation used for attribute selector. So within the square bracket, you need to use the attribute name. Okay, not the value, attribute name. So example, I can go to the image. Okay, I can go to the image tag where I have specified the image, followed by, normally we'll give the title for the image. Okay, title is equal to at top of, okay, something you have written mountain. So whatever the title you are giving, for this you can apply the style, changing color or the type of font or the border. If you want to represent this information in the form of box, okay, so there you can specify border, padding. These are the properties you can apply. Okay, so you can just observe here I have used for the image. So image, there is an attribute called title. For this I am applying the style. When you are applying style, okay, the code you need to write like this, within the square bracket, name of the attribute, followed by these properties. Okay, cursor, help, then padding bottom, you're just specifying how far it is from the box. So we'll be learning what is padding bottom, border bottom, all these things in CSS box. Okay, so that I can show and execute how exactly these properties will change the appearance and text decoration. Okay, so it is going to apply this style to the attribute name it is used, wherever it is used. You can just observe wherever it is used. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so wherever I am using this title, okay, that is the attribute name, it is going to apply this style. Clear? So you can just have you downloaded the textbook pages properly? They have shown with output how exactly it is going to apply this part. You can just see here there is some text. For this text they have defined all this. Okay, they have defined these style. Is it clear what is attribute selector? It is not commonly used. Okay, so that is because of limitation, like some of the browsers it not supports the attribute selectors. Because of that it is not so commonly used selector method. And it is, you just remember, so it is normally applied for hyperlinks and images. So let me, there are two more types, pseudo selector and contextual selector. So I will explain these selectors later. Let me go to the examples how to represent some programs. I'll just run and show. We'll go with one by one. Okay, what is the first one I told? Element selectors. Okay. You can just install the Sublime. And you can type the program. This is group element. Okay, so you can just observe the code. If it's visible, code part. So focus on the syntax, how to represent. So element selector, I think whatever we have used in the previous class example, where we started with the tag names. Okay, so that is a simple element selector. So here for paragraph I am applying this. Okay, where I am specifying the selector name is directly the HTML element. Okay, you can just observe. So this is the output I got. What is the output? So text align center. Okay, I'm just making the text align. It is centered and color is blue. You are getting blue. And it is applied to the paragraph. Wherever I specified paragraph, there it is applied. Okay, so your ID part is there. You just forget this for time being. It's not required. Okay, there is no change. Is it clear? Element selector. So once again in this, I told three types. Okay, element, either you can apply to a single element or you can apply to the multiple elements. I mean grouping or set of HTML elements if you want to apply the style. So that can be done. If it is following the same style, you can just specify here with comma separation. What is the one more? So one more is universal selector. So instead of selector name here, either any HTML tag element name, you will be using the asterisk symbol. So let me go to the grouping selectors. You can just observe here. I have just grouped all the HTML elements. Okay, set of HTML elements H1, H2, P. Okay, for this I am applying this style. So text align is center and color is red. So how to represent in case of grouping selector? It should be with comma separator. Comma separator, and you need to specify the HTML elements. Okay, you can just observe. So that is. Okay. You can just observe. So whatever it is written, it is applicable. So instead of writing for each of the element, if you want to display or if you want to follow the same style, so then you can just group all such type of elements into a single style using comma separate. The complexity in the file can be reduced. Next, universal selector. If you want, you can just note down main syntax. So focus is for this part. Use different tags and apply that style and see the output how you are going to get. So next we'll move on to universal selector. So in that case, if you want to apply same style for throughout the document, okay, for all the tags same style if you want to apply, you can use the universal selector. Okay, so you can just observe I have H1 tag, paragraph tag. I want to apply common style. So in that case, for all the tags, not only H1 and P, that is paragraph tag. So whatever the tag if I use here, it is going to apply this style. So to indicate that, you need to use the asterisk symbol followed by this property value. Is it clear? So this is called universal selector. You will get the same output. You can just observe. Just what is the main part in this? You just focus on that. We'll move on to class selector. That is called grouping selector. And the third one is if you want to apply for all the elements that is present in the tag. Okay. So you can just observe where is the how I have changed. If I want to apply some group of elements with the same style, so in that case you can use the class selector. So give the same class name for all the tags, changing every time. Okay, class selector means dot selector name, I mean class name followed by the style you need to specify. You can show class selector. You can just observe. Okay, so wherever I use that class name, it is going to apply the style that is specified in the style tag. Okay, if you want, let the class name. Okay, so if you want to give some other class name, okay, so I don't want to give the same style, then you have to create another style for that, then it will not apply this. You can just say, okay, when you give same class name, so it will affect that particular text information whatever you have specified. Okay, for any of the tag anywhere in the document, just specify this attribute. Okay, and where you have created style. Okay, so ID selector, it is similar to class selector, but it will be applicable to a single HTML element. So it will accept. Some browsers it will accept and it will apply the style. How to represent here? So class and ID both are attributes of the tags. Okay, all the tags will be having these two attributes, class and ID. Okay, so here I am specifying ID for this element is equal to para1, then followed by this. Okay, so now I am going to apply the style only for this tag where I have specified the ID. So now you need to specify the style using that ID name. Okay, and it should start with ash Okay, as followed by the style, I mean ID name, para1. Okay, whatever you're going to give the name for that ID or the value for that ID, you need to specify. Followed by, you just specify the style for that text followed by the paragraph. Okay, you can just observe it is applied only for the ID that is okay. This one. Okay, so wherever it is specified. So let me just try. I have not checked. So it can be given only for one ID they have told. H1 tag, H1. So I am not specified. Let me run and see. Okay, I am getting the text. So let me give the same style for that. So that I come to know that my browser will support for multiple elements. So it is going to accept if you give for more than one element same ID name. Okay, so that is the main difference between class and ID selector. Okay.